Ever imagine like waking up one morning and like the internet is just gone, like completely gone?
I spent a lot of time on the internet, so that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of us, it's how we work, how we stay connected. And back in 2019, that almost happened.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It felt like the entire world just stopped.
Websites were down, financial systems froze, people couldn't do anything.
And like it all pointed back to this mysterious hacker who went by the name ShadowFox.
Why? ShadowFox.
Yeah, we're diving into their story today.
Fascinating story.
It's like something out of a movie, you
Yeah.
know, like a thriller or something.
Exactly. And we've got the source. It's an excerpt, actually, called The Hacker Who Stole the Internet Inside the Dark Web's Most Audacious Heist.
Really rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And it gets right to the point. This wasn't some average data breach or credit card theft. This was about someone who basically controlled the entire internet.
Yeah. So, like, where do we even begin with a story like this?
Well, I think we got to start with ShadowFox themselves. Right.
Like, who was this person or this group? What were they all about?
Yeah.
So, the source tells us that ShadowFox's origins are in the dark web.
The dark web.
Yeah, that hidden part of the internet that most people never even see, right? You know,
Right.
it's this whole network that operates outside of like the regular search engines and
Yeah,
stuff.
Google and all that.
Exactly. And it's known for being a place where, well, pretty much anything goes. You know, anonymity is like the main thing there.
Yeah.
And that's where ShadowFox really honed their skills. They became like this coding prodigy. I mean, they could bypass even the toughest security systems out there.
Like, how tough are we talking here?
Think like zero-day exploits, social engineering, all that stuff that you hear about, but like on a whole other level.
So they were good.
Oh, they were good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still remember trying to book a flight that day. It was just chaos, complete chaos.
Oh, yeah. Everyone was freaking out.
Yeah. And while we were all panicking, ShadowFox was actually, like, capitalizing on it all, right?
Oh, yeah, they were.
Yeah. So, like, what were they doing? Well, they used the dark web. Remember, they knew it like the back of their hand.
Right.
They set up this marketplace where other hackers could actually buy and sell access to all these vulnerable systems.
Like what kind of systems?
We're talking like power grids, financial institutions, government databases, you name it. I mean, it was all up for grabs.
Wow.
It was pretty terrifying.
I bet. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Uh-huh.
So this wasn't just about stealing money, then, I mean, the potential for disruption was huge.
Yeah, absolutely massive. I mean, imagine being able to just shut down a city's power grid or cripple a major bank. It's insane.
Yeah. But wait, wouldn't shutting down the internet also limit ShadowFox's ability to, like, operate in the dark web?
That's a good question, and it seems kind of counterintuitive, right? But you got to remember the internet is massive. It's this huge interconnected network. Even when parts of it go down, there are still ways to access the dark web. Plus, you know, ShadowFox was a genius when it came to this stuff. They probably had backup plans, contingencies, all sorts of ways to stay connected, even when things were falling apart around them.
So they were always one step ahead.
It seems that way, yeah.
So this is where that, like, crazy $200 million figure comes in, right?
Yeah, that's right. The source says that ShadowFox managed to rake in an estimated $200 million before they just disappeared.
Like, poof, gone.
Vanished without a trace.
And how'd they even make that much money? Was it just from selling access to these systems?
Well, the details are still kind of murky. You know, it's the dark web after all, but the source says that most of the payments were made in cryptocurrency.
Which makes it almost untraceable, right?
Exactly. It's like
Right.
digital cash, and it's designed to be anonymous.
So they were smart.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, after all of this, after causing so much chaos and making all that money, ShadowFox just disappeared.
Yeah, just like a ghost story.
So were they a straight-up criminal mastermind, or were they like some kind of digital Robin Hood? I mean, they exposed how vulnerable we are, but they also caused a lot of harm.
Right. That's the big question, isn't it? Were their motivations purely selfish, or were they trying to make some kind of statement about our dependence on technology?
I mean, we're still talking about them today, so they definitely made a statement.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
So I guess it doesn't really matter what their intentions were.
Yeah.
The impact was undeniable, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, the source highlights how ShadowFox's actions basically forced the entire world to take internet security way more seriously.
Yeah, it's like a global wake-up call.
Exactly. Governments, organizations, everyone had to reevaluate their systems, their protocols, everything.
Did it actually lead to any real changes, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was a huge push for international collaboration on cybersecurity, and a lot of resources were poured into protecting critical infrastructure.
So it wasn't all bad then, I guess.
But, I mean, it's still pretty scary to think that someone could just pull this off. you
Hmm.
know? But it definitely forced us to confront the fact that the internet, while amazing, is also incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah, and that brings us to like the big unsettling question here. If someone like ShadowFox could do this, what's stopping them, or someone else from doing it again?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We've made all these changes, we've beefed up security, but is it enough?
Like, could it happen again tomorrow?
Honestly, nobody knows, and that's the most unsettling part of all.
So I guess it's not just about being prepared for the next attack. It's also about like questioning our dependence on this interconnected world we've built.
Exactly. How much do we trust this system? How much control have we really given up?
Yeah, heavy stuff for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Well, that's all the time we have for our deep dive into the world of ShadowFox. But the story definitely leaves us with a lot to think about.
It does, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do we trust the internet? How much do we trust technology in general? And are we really prepared for the next big attack?
Yeah, those are some big questions, and I don't know if we have the answers yet.
Yeah, me neither. But it's definitely something we need to keep thinking about.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
And until next time, stay safe out there in the digital world.
You too. Bye. Bye.